Hello everybody, I have I think it's 92 Ford F-250 and the truck came here for a water pump and thermostat replacement. It was leaking from water pump. Supposed to be an easy job, but turned out to be a headache. So this was never replaced. So we got a original bolt that going through the pump, through the timing cover, into the block, rusted, locked up, and it broke. Few of the bolts broke, so I have no choice but to take the timing cover off. To do that, you gotta take the harmonic balancer out, and this is the puller you need. Then you have to open all the bolts from the side of the cover and two at the bottom at the oil pan and pry the cover out. I'm gonna see how easy this guy is. Most likely it's gonna crack in places. That's why I got a new replacement cover. So we're gonna replace that. Here's your thermostat, 2 bolts, and you replace that. To get the water pump out, if you are lucky enough, all the bolts open, you need to remove the power steering and the AC bracket completely by removing 5 bolts, and then you need to remove the alternator and the pump side by removing 4 bolts here, and then you'll be able to get the brackets out. I'm just letting the brackets hang. I'm not going to remove the accessories completely and then do this job. I did not show you how to remove these, but I'll show you how to install it so you can reverse that. So let's see. Finally got the timing cover out. Like I thought, I had to break it. The condition of the timing cover was not easy to remove. So here's looks behind it. Look at that. Lack of maintenance does this to your truck, to your vehicle. So here is my take. If you're doing this truck for yourself, be ready to be pissed off every step of the way. Once you get the crankshaft pulley out with the puller, then your roller pin, just right here, has a mind of its own. Does not want to come out. You can knock it one corner to twist it, knock on this corner to twist it. It's still locked in place, that stupid thing. And then after you remove that, you have crankshaft balancer sitting here. You have to remove that. This slides out. Then you get to timing cover. As you can see, there's a gasket underneath for the oil pan. This is in junction with the oil pan. So you will have to put a silicone back in, put this gasket back in. If you're not, you're screwed because you have to remove the entire oil pan to secure this in place. Yes, you can use silicone. It will always leak. Done it before and it does not work. Look at how thick this gasket is. There's no way silicone is going to hold that stuff in place. So if you want to try it, go for it. Timing cover broke right here. It's still stuck. I'm not able to remove it completely. All the bolts from the bottom are out. So I'm going to have a great time trying to take this out. So if you see this truck, it comes to you rusted on this side or the original water pump on it. Do not take the job unless you're willing to charge 3 times the price on the labor, because that's what it's going to take you. If you normally do this job, this entire process should take you no more than 30 minutes. Removing the timing cover, that means. Just because everything is rusted and you have to go back and forth with different tools, torch it, you're spending 2.5 hours just to remove this sucker from here. And it's not worth it. And then you're gonna remove that broken cover now. So if it's your truck, be ready. This is not gonna be easy. And if it's your truck and there's nothing rusted, was serviced before, it's an easy piece of cake. But if it's not serviced, you're not gonna be happy touching this thing. So have chisels and pry bars and hammers and torches ready, because that's what's going to need, what it's going to take to get this done. Another thing you will need to order is a new bolt set for the timing cover and water pump, because none of them would open. At least it didn't open for this truck. I don't know your situation. If you're in states that use salt, you're screwed. If you're in states that don't use salt, it's okay. This truck looks like it's been to different states. Exhaust manifold, look at that. I'm glad I don't have to touch that stuff. So, no, it's not going to be easy as 1, 2, 3. So now I got to deal with that. It's going to take me another half an hour to 40 minutes to remove that and prep this place. Clean everything up. Normally it should be 10-15 minutes job to prep it. Now, if you have a customer who is a negative thinker and always blaming people for stuff, you're screwed. Don't take this job. And if you have a person that's willing to understand your hardship and knows what's in his truck, and you're not creating the trouble, you're dealing with it, trying to fix his trouble, then hey, take on the job. So assess your customer and your work before you take this work. It's not worth the headache that you're going to get from this. So this job should take 3.5 hours, and I've been on it for the last 2 days. It's not fair how bad this thing is. Finally got the new timing cover back in, water pump back in. The mounts are installed, so there's one bolt here that you have to remove, one bolt right here. That goes on to the, right there, that goes on to the water pump. And one bolt between this and this housing straight in. You need to open this to get this disconnected. When you want to remove this side, you're going to need to open, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think that's about it, 5 bolts. And these are pretty long bolts to get this entire system off, and then you can put it aside. Then you can get access to your water pump. As you can see, one of these bolts are onto the water pump. This hose right here goes down to your engine oil cooler, and it's like an old box, and this is where your lower radiator hose will connect to. That is a pain to get it off. So you're going to open this clamp and the bottom clamp, put in the long pin to release both hoses, and then twist the water pump to take it off. Now in my case, the water pump bolts were broken, so it was very difficult for me to work on that. End up putting new hose, and then the clamps here, clamp there. Some of the clamps are rusted and broken. I got trouble with everything. So the bolts that were broken, I got to take them off. I had to take them off the engine block. 2 of them I got to re-drill and re-tap, and it was terrible. I ended up putting all new bolts around. Then once you get the timing cover off, well, in my case, the timing cover bolt wasn't coming off, so this part broke. And this part also cracked. And this part cracked. And you see the broken bolt here. It was a nightmare. So I ended up putting new seal, new timing cover. The bottom oil pan gasket is still original one. I just added silicone for an extra seal. If you're getting a aftermarket cover, they will send you some studs. Make sure you put those studs here before putting the cover back in, because it does not accept the factory 10mm bolts. It has a larger stud on top and then 10mm down there, so you have to add those. Now if you add those studs, the cover is very hard to install. I am sorry I couldn't show you all this. It was extremely frustrating. So I can show you right now. You'll have to transfer this for a heater core line, and this right here, you have to connect, water pump is on. When it comes to the roller pin for the crankshaft pulley or harmonic bouncer pulley, it will be stuck. So you have to hit it from one side and then go on the other side and one side. If you have a punch, you can punch this side even more and it will pop it out. Once you take it out, because of the punch, the pin's damaged, you got to sand it down, even it out, put it back in, and install the harmonic bouncer back in. Another thing you could do is harmonic bouncer has a cup shape and then bevel shape. The cup side goes towards the crankshaft cover, and the other side covers the pulley, otherwise the pulley won't fit. Don't make that mistake, save yourself a headache. Now I'm just going to tighten all these bolts up, and the alternator goes up here. You have the alternator brace mounting bolt here, and then the cross bolt here. The mounting bolt here has the adjustment on it to adjust the tension of the alternator. Put your belt on, tighten that up. Maybe if you get a truck that's not rusted as bad, you'll be in better shape. But for me, this was the nightmare truck. And best thing for me that was going on is my customer was my neighbor, and they're completely understanding. I have an amazing neighbor, so They understood what it takes to get this done. They have not complained at all. They've given me enough time to wrap this up. But if you're doing this work for someone, I would recommend to be extremely clear with them before you take the job. Tell them this is an easy thing. It might take longer. It might involve more labor time and more money as we go into it. This is my advice. And if the other person doesn't want to understand, please don't take this job. It's not worth the headache. All right. I'm going to put everything back in and I'll be back. So here's the 13mm bolt right here. You have to tighten that one. Here we go. That's the one. Then you got one right here. One right here. Oh, that's 14. This one right here is 14. These are all 14 as well. So I already torqued them down. And now we're gonna just put the alternator back in. So once you drop an alternator, put this bolt in. It just sits in there. Then you can get your alternator adjustment bracket like this. And it needs to be mounted one bolt here, one bolt here. So I'll be right back. Here we go. We got 14 there. Put the bracket. Okay. So don't tighten that all the way until we put the belt on. What we need to do is put a belt on, tension the alternator where we need it, and then fasten this bolt first and then tighten that bolt at the bottom. Before we put a belt on, we need to put water pump pulley. Here's the water pump pulley. So you're gonna line it up onto the shaft and put 4 screws right there. Next, let's add the tensioner. That's gonna be for power steering and AC side. So the first belt you put on is the AC compressor and power steering belt, and then alternator. So when you remove it, you're gonna be removing the alternator first and then power steering pump. Here's the belt rotation for the AC. You can see straight down to the crankshaft, go around the power steering, come straight up, go down to the tensioner, and back in here. To do that, you can just tension the tensioner back like this, and then remove or install your belt. Now the alternator belt is tensioned by just adjusting this mechanical tensioner on the alternator itself. And that's what we're going to do. There you have it. Perfect. This belt I'm not going to tension until I install the fan and the radiator back on, because this has to be torqued down. The pulley will move. This one can automatically adjust, so we're not worried about that. This radiator does not have bottom bolts, only has top bolts. Bottom is a hanger. You see that one? It's just a little hanger. You slide the radiator on it, both sides. Line up the bolt here. And line up the bolt here. And tighten them down. Here's your lower radiator hose. It has a slip-on clamp, European style, using the original clamp. So you can tighten that up. If you try to disconnect this from the bottom, you can't, because the oil filter is in the way. If you remove the oil filter and take that out, that's another way to get to it. After radiator is tight, I'm going to put the fan on, shroud on, and tighten everything down. So fan shroud has one bolt here, one here, and bottom of it is just a slide as well. Once you got the fan shroud in, you're going to install the clutch fan and these 4 bolts. To tighten these bolts, this is a slow process. You got to get open wrench and go little at a time. Like that. They're a total of 4 bolts you're going to need to tighten. Here is everything plugged back in. So we got the hose connected, radiator, fan, shroud connected, fans connected and bolted down. The belts tensioned for the alternator. To tension this belt, there is a reason for the shape of this alternator side. You put an open wrench on it and pull the alternator up to a tension and tighten that one. I added some aftermarket clamps. I want to see how they behave. If there's any leak, I might have to replace them. So the belt for the power steering and AC is through automatic tension, so you should be good there. This is where you mount the shroud, and I think that's about it. There's nothing left to this miserable truck. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I'm gonna fill this up and check for any other issues, but to replace your water pump and the timing cover, this is what it takes. Thank you for tagging along. Take care. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye.